Hey everybody, Barry here again. Well, this ain't the shop. This is my shop.
This is my little tiny garage that the rat rod barely fits in for anybody who
Hasn't seen it before. And I got some nerve up yesterday and moved some of my wood pile out of the way.
so that I could actually open the doors because, you know, it's not a lot of room. Still got to get rid of some of this garbage, but that'll come later. But here's the truck.
For anybody who is relatively new, because there's a bunch of new people, this is the truck that I've been talking about that the D-stroke 6-liter is going in
With twinsies. And I got some plans for this thing.
So last year, this had a 5.3, just a regular Gen 3 with Gen 4 internals, 5.3, 66 millimeter Mac turbo, and it was savage, and it would break pistons because it made a lot of torque down low, and I don't know if it ever bent rods or not because I didn't look, but it probably did. Yeah, so I figured it's time to build a new engine.
There's not a lot of actual metal work to be done on this. Everything is all solid. This is where my wastegate dump tube used to go, so I might use Fitzy's cut and butt method and weld that back in. Same over here. This is where my filter went when it was naturally aspirated. The tube used to come through here, and the filter was out in the fender with nice cold air.
So it was an actual cold air intake, not, you know, the Dodge Neon with the filter right next to the manifold.
And I moved the firewall back 3 inches. I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell there, but the firewall is moved back there 3 inches so that the engine can sit back further.
That takes the weight, like say ahead of the front axle, and moves it behind the front axle or cross member.
And this is a bare bones truck. It's more of a race truck. Cass doesn't want to admit it, but it is. Solid engine mounts down here. They bolt directly to the engine. There is no rubber, there's no polyurethane, and that's the way I like it. 79 Camaro front clip.
Now I'll go over more of this when I get the truck up to the garage and will be an actual light,
Because they're not doing so hot.
and I'll do a complete walk around, and there's going to be stuff that people who have seen this truck haven't seen. One thing I want to show actually really quick before I go
Is in here. Now I'm gonna have to turn my flash on for this, but
this is kind of cool. Cass hand painted that. She made a stencil for the CarQuest here and spray painted it, and then she hand painted Lewisport, and that's on both sides.
and see that? Oh, it didn't hit. This is my favorite part about the truck, and this is on both sides. You can see here where it used to say drink Coca-Cola, but it wasn't enough room for it. But that was a cooler
from like the 60s that I found in a dump in Glenwood, the town I grew up in, and it was completely like curled over, like somebody ran over it in a loader or something. But both sides were there, so I cut the side out of it with a split axe because that's all I had. Brought it home, cut it out, and I was gonna make like a wall hanger or something out of it, but after I got out the truck and the steps were completely gone, I was like, this is a perfect opportunity
to do something really cool.
and really like rat rod looking.
So here's a bit of the interior. Here's a gauge panel I made a few years ago. My breath is fogging up and it's kind of ruining the shot, but I made that last year or the year before. It was really cool. Momo steering wheel. It was quick release, but I was kind of scared by how you used to kind of pull a pin and the steering wheel would come off, so I bolted it down solid. Shift plate and all that stuff. Here's Thunder Valley Speedway, the coolest racetrack on the planet as far as I'm concerned. And
That's the one that this truck and the Caravan have been to multiple burnout competitions in, and it's a small town, down home circle track, and I love it. It's amazing. And big shout out to Brad Melendi and the boys there for setting that up and
keeping it running strong. And here's the back part of the truck. I apologize for it being dark. Like I said, it's not that great back here. But yeah, I just got these laid in here for dramatic effect. But this is the tire that I run all year round. It's just a Hoosier circle track tire. Came from Thunder Valley Speedway. It's completely back halved. This is a, I think it's like an SN95 Mustang rear end. So it comes up here, it goes right down to the frame. Down there. And it's not focusing. Focus, yeah, kind of. And I made a frame stiffener and stuff. And fuel cell sits here, battery sits there. And I've got my 4 link bars and stuff that I made a couple of years ago.
So I'm going to go up now, up to the shop, and get the seat. I think I'm going to take the seat cover and the straps out because they're rotten and I got to clean them up. That's the one that Christopher Jones sent me. And I'll bolt the seat in here because, hey, it'll look like a truck again. And the fuel cell, maybe I'll do the same thing. But I do have to do some repairs on the fuel cell because I drilled holes in it that I don't need there anymore. So I'll get some plastic welder or heat gun or torch or something and melt some plastic in there.
And before I go, this is something that a lot of people have seen, a lot of people haven't seen. This is a 79 Datsun 280ZX that has absolutely no floor in it because it was completely shot. There's no front end, but what's there is actually in good shape. And I've been planning on making a drag cart of it at some point, so we'll see how that goes. And yeah, some really cool stuff back here. This one here, I really like, the 1320 Canada flag sticker Frampton gave me. And here's Brendan McLean's sticker. A lot of stuff going on there. And of course, this is a 3-pedal machine. Well, the gas pedal isn't there at the moment, but it goes right there. And Cass won't let me get rid of this one, but I want to make it an automatic. She wants nothing to do with it.
Alright, so let's go up to the shop and get the parts before it gets too far and gets too dark. So I got a couple of plans for the truck in this video, like nothing too serious. I'm still waiting on a few parts. I got to grab some bearings and some seals for the rear end. Fitz is sending me pinion flange this week sometime, and I'm hoping that'll get here on time, and then I can start putting the rear end together, because when I get that done, then I can make some temporary mounts to bolt the rear end into the truck, put a set of wheels on it, drag it up to the shop. Because right now it doesn't have a rear end in it. It's sitting on jack stands on the frame, and it doesn't roll very well like that. And with the engine, I spent my last YouTube money on the turbo, and the next one is going to be for like head bolts and head gaskets and stuff. But my main focus right now is getting the truck moving and getting it up to the shop so I can work on it, because I got to rewire the whole truck. I learned a lot in the last year since I haven't worked on the truck, or since I haven't driven it. Like I made my own fuse relay panel, and that was a really big thing, because when I wired the truck last year, I used the OE interior fuse block from a Chev truck, and it was an absolute rat's nest. Like, it worked okay, but I didn't need to make it as complicated as I made it on myself, and that's part of learning, I guess. So I'm gonna start completely over and make my own fuse and relay panel. I'll probably use an 8 fuse circuit or a 10 fuse or something like that. And really, there's not much in the truck. It's not like it has AC and heated seats and all that trash. There's no heater in it. There's no radio. So it's basically headlights, taillights, signal lights. That's it. There is nothing else. And then the engine and stuff. But buying a, or hopefully by now have bought a boost controller off Charles Williams. It's a wideband boost controller with boost cut, fail safe, all that stuff. So that's wild. That's the first time I'll have ever had anything that cares if I blow up the engine or not. Because before it's like, oh, the wastegate stuck shut. You want 30 pounds? 30 pounds it is. And then it sends pieces where pieces don't want to be. Like the atmosphere up in the sky. We don't need pistons up there. We need them safely inside the engine. So at least now, if it overboosts, it'll cut boost. If it leans out, it'll cut boost. As far as I remember, that's how it goes. And it's got a 3-port boost controller, so it'll put pressure on the dome, or it'll bleed off pressure. And that's pretty cool. What else have I got? I'm gonna put that seat in. I think I might paint the harnesses because they're faded really bad. They were blue, and it's a black seat, and blue's fine. I have no problem with blue, but I think I might get some of that vinyl paint we got and paint the harnesses black, or if I can get blue vinyl paint dye, then I'll just repaint them again blue. And I got a lot of work to do on the truck, but it's just on February now, or just coming up on February, and I'm not too concerned right now. I got a lot of money to spend on stuff, and I don't actually have a lot of money, So that's always a little bit stressful, but sold some stickers today, and people are helping out with the channel and stuff, and it's stuff's coming a long way really fast, and that's really exciting. So on the note about stickers, let's go into the shop and I'll show you some new ones that I made up. Well, we're inside now, and also I forgot to mention, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm filming in 4K now. Yay. So here are the stickers that I have made right now. A bunch of these are going out in the mail tomorrow, and kind of had to do this because it was pretty live, love, laugh, and not into that. So anyway, I ruined the box and Cass was really mad at me, but let's do it for the flex. So I've made up a bunch. These are all like my customized design, and sell them for $5 each, and I'll cover the postage. So if anybody wants one, I'll put my email down in the description. And this one here is one of my favorites because it's pretty much my instruction manual. Also this, if any police are watching, I don't love street racing. And yeah, another big one. So that's something that I've wanted to get into for a long time, is stickers, and I've been selling them for the last probably 6 or 8 months, but haven't really pushed it a lot. Just make up a little batch and see if anybody wants to buy them. But a load of people were really interested in it, and I have to order some more Cricut material. The cool thing about it is I've learned a lot in the last while, and this is printable vinyl, not sticker paper, so it's actual vinyl, and I use laminating film on it so that they're completely waterproof, they're UV radiation proof, and they'll last like a long time. So if you'd like one, just email me or something, or write me on Facebook, whatever. Well, these are ready to go. There's a bunch there, Craig. I always send envelopes. I'll buy them tomorrow at the post office. Let's go take this seat apart. So this is what, oh, look, cookies. Cool. So this is the seat that Christopher sent me, and it's really sweet. It's actually awesome, but you can see right here what I'm saying about the color is just bled out of it. So I'll see what's available. It'd be sick to have it actually all this color, because that's beautiful. But you know what UV radiation does to stuff, and direct sunlight, and it's kind of dirty, whatever. It's not even a big deal. I could really care less, but it'd be just nice to have it clean. And I got to take off these brackets on the bottom. The cool thing is they're exactly the same. This is exactly the same seat as what was in the rat rod before. And when I sold the seats out of it, I left the mounts in the cab. So all I got to do is just bolt this right back up into place. So it'll be like 5 minutes and it'll be done. Woo! And then maybe I'll mount the fuel tank. This is the cell. It's funny because I got this one off Jonathan Wiseman, and he got it off me, and it's just kind of back where it was in the first place. And it's going to be quick to put this one in because I just got to put it down in place, and the straps go along here that I made. They were 1 inch wide or 1 1/4 inch wide, and they just bolt right to the frame, and it'll go right back where it was. But I think I'm going to take off some of this. Like, this is good for a return. I'll leave that, and I'll probably just leave that capped like it is, but these here, I have to plug those off, and I think I'll probably plug this one off also. This is really nice because this has a float in it. This is kind of like a fuel tank sending unit float thing. That's for the gas gauge anyway, and that matches the gas gauge that I have in the rat rod now. So I drove for like 4 years or 3 years not knowing how much gas was in it. You tend to break down when this holds like $50 worth of gas, and the rat rod burns a lot of it. Anyway, enough talky, more worky. All right, let's get this thing apart. I think the harnesses are in pretty easy to get out. Let me just kind of unclip. I got to make some mounts for the back of this because this looks like it goes around a roll cage, and I don't have one, so I'll figure out some sort of a mount for the back pieces. And side pieces shouldn't be too hard because I have eye hooks in the floor, and these have not eye hooks, but I'll use the thing that's got a clamp with a nut or whatever in it. And this one comes out. I'll put all this side. I remember how this stuff comes apart without tearing it. I can't quite remember. I think it come up this way. And there, on there. So I'll clean up this too. It's in good shape. It doesn't seem to have much dry rot or anything in it. There's no cracks in the vinyl itself. Holds its shape really well. And it's got foam inside of it. And I'll see if I can get a foam piece to go in under, because the seats are not what you call the most comfortable, but they're not bad. Cass doesn't like going on long drives in racing seats. But that's part of the race car thing. Stay. Well, let's get this off. This is just regular 3/8 bolts. That's the coolest part about it. There's nothing really difficult to taking them off. This was made for a car. You can see how shallow the mounts are. In the rat rod, I think the mounts are like 8 inches tall, and then it's the bottom of the seat. That's how like high the truck is inside. It doesn't seem like a big truck. Like it's half the size of a newer Chev pickup, but it's a tall one. If I can get this off, then I can start working on probably the fuel tank, because after I got the envelopes all done and written up with the stickers and stuff on them, it's dark out now, so I'll just have to bring a light home with me or something, working in the dark. Well, this is working well. I think it's stuck on. It's been there for a while. There we go. I'm not very good at this at all.
I guess it just wants to be on the floor.
The seat itself is in really nice condition, actually. Like it's not torn up or anything. The rib nuts or nut certs or whatever you want to call it, they're all in good shape. Nothing's cracked or whatever. So this is going to be absolutely perfect. Let's see if I can fix the tank. Well, let's pull this thing apart. So I'm going to have to absolutely scrap this because my hands don't fit really down there. Or maybe, I don't know. It'll work. Ow. Sharp. Pull it off before I scratch it again. Better put it in my pocket. So I don't need to take that off. Where am I going to go with the return? That's the back of the tank. This is the back. I'm going to block off this one, and I'll leave this one for the return, I think. So it's super sharp. It's a good thing I chose this one because it's all loose. I'll make sure there's no gas left in it before I go putting heat to stuff. If I make sure there's no gas in it, I mean I'll put a blowtorch in there and move it all around. Gangster. Stay. If it doesn't want to seal up, then I won't leave it unsafe. I'll just screw this back in and leave the plug on it. But it'd be nice to keep all these bulkhead fittings because they're really good to have. I'm going to use these two outlets here for my two fuel pumps. Which are going to go under the tank, sort of around right, you know, in under here. And the two lines, which are very similar to this, are going to kind of go like that or something, you know, in under the frame. I'll deal with that when it's all in the truck. And I have no idea where I just put that piece. Oh, here it is. So this is a really great bulkhead connector. This stuff is not very cheap, and especially this being for hydraulic hoses. This is just regular aluminum AN, but I'll put those in my fittings bucket. God, make that so sharp. And because it's very soft anodized AN that scratches easily, I'm going to use vice grips. just to make somebody cringe. Okay. And there's another really nice bulkhead fitting. So we have two outlets, which are different sizes, but I'll deal with that at some point. Just not today. My return is here. Float is there. Pumps are going in under the tank, so I don't have to worry about that. Those are the same size, so that's fine. So that's good. I think that's like a -4 maybe. Maybe. So I've got 4 holes to fill in. So I got these two small ones here, which I don't think are gonna be an issue. I've got this one here, which is about a 1/2 inch diameter, maybe 5/8, and this one here, which is also around the same. I think I can melt this and melt plastic into it, and it'll seal up. Well, I can't find my blowtorch, so I guess I'll use the heat gun. It's really loud, sorry. It'll still work fine. It's just not as explosive as I'm used to. So let's plug this junk in. And I'm gonna get a screwdriver or something like that. Maybe this thing, that might work. That's pretty cool. And also I've got a bunch of these things here that Craig has. And these are shims for like flooring or something. They're plastic anyway, and I think they're the same material as what this is. And they work really well. I use this for doing shaved intake manifolds on LSs, and it works wicked. So let's try it. I don't really have enough hands. It produces heat. Who knew? All right, gloves on. I think I'm going to attack this from a different angle. I'm going to cut out a piece that's just a little bit bigger. Just a little square, and lay it on top, and I'll just kind of press it in. If I can find the piece. There we go. So I'm going to put this little attachment on here. I don't know if it's supposed to go there or not, but whatever. So here's our little attachment thing. And I'm just going to kind of push it into the hole and see if I can sort of weld it. This is already not going as I'd imagined. Oh, kind of though.
It's kind of doing something. One piece. Okay, I think we're getting somewhere. It ain't pretty, but it works. I'll probably put a little bit of sealer or something over it after, just to be sure. That it's going to actually seal up. Like I said, if I don't like the way this looks or the way it works, then I'll put bolts or something in it. It's something. Just don't exactly know what yet. I think I'm going to leave heat out of it from now on because look how soft this is getting. Now I know it's just hot. Oh, it's hot. But I don't like the way that's making it really, really soft and the stuff looks like it's moving. So I'm going to leave heat out of it. I'll silicone over these and I'll put those two plugs back in, or maybe even some regular bolts or something. I'll put something in there anyway so it doesn't look dumb. But it's kind of cool to have these two done. I'll smear over a little bit of gray silicone or something, and then I'll just paint the whole thing black. And I actually do need a vent anyway, so I'll probably use this one here as the vent and run up to the frame or something. Well, I was looking the random fittings collection that I've made over the last few years. I'm going to keep that one because that's a nice hydraulic one. And yeah, I'll use the ugly blue one for up there. Friends don't let friends use blue and red AN fittings like that. Although that would make a decent vent because it already has the hose there, or for the return, so maybe that one can go there. Yep, that could work. That would go on top of that other blue and red one. And what else do we have? I'm pretty much just going to pick all the same ones out that I put back a minute ago. That's also a good one there. So there's the return. Here's the vent. I know this is for hydraulics. I know it's ugly, but it works. Okay, what do we got? So that will work there. That's a good thing. And here's a plug, which I took out. Sometimes I do things several times. So that's fine there. This here is the front here, so I could have the return and the vent on one side and have nothing going across the front. That works. That works for me. Some of this stuff away. Man, it's still hot. Tighten that down.
Okay, that's tight. That one there is already tight. Here it is. These plugs are sweet too. These came from John the Wiseman also. So that'll go down there. I guess really if I'm using AN fittings here, I could have just put a bolt and a nut down there. I would have done the exact same thing with a little bit of sealant. But it'd be nice if I end up needing to run another regulator or something, that I can have a second return. Okay, there's that. And now I can, geez, it's still hot, man, it's wet. Okay, man, that is a nice little plug, sweet. So here is, maybe that'll be a return. That'll be fine. Here's a vent. And both of these I'll just leave open. Like say the bottom, I'll just leave open because the vent is going to come from the top of the tank anyway, so that air can go back and forth and it won't pressurize the tank. And this one here I'll just leave open as it is like this, and gas will just spray back down into the bottom of the tank. And then it'll go right here, right at the bottom. All will be well. Yeah, it's ugly, but I guess that's part of it. It's a rat rod. Prepare to get messy. So this is Permatex Moto Seal. Part number is 38401. This stuff is impossible to find for me for the last like year, but it says resistant to automotive fuels. And that's wonderful because gasoline is an automotive fuel. Now I don't know if it's anaerobic. It may never actually completely dry, but I think it does. So here's some there, some on the top of there. Now this stuff is a little more liquidy than actual RTV, so it does get a bit stringy and make a mess. But I'm just gonna let it set up pretty much exactly as it is. Let it sit into the low spots of where I melted that plastic in, and now it's sort of like a cup, and now it'll fill in there and seal up. And there's going to be no pressure on this because it's going to have a vent, so it's not going to blow out that seal. Well, that's a little bit of progress for tonight. Let's go back to my garage and I'll set up as many lights as I can so it's not really dim looking, and we'll get that seat installed, get the fuel cell put in place. And I haven't really showed you guys this actually. This is just a Gen 3 truck intake with the cover that I laid in place. It'll look a lot better when two little tiny turbos are right here, and it'll take your attention from this. I just got the heads laid in place for now, just to get a look at it, and I really like it. And something that you guys may have noticed and are questioning right now is, look at the shop. So Dwayne, Craig, and I have spent a lot of time, a lot of labor getting this place looking like this. And Craig and his son Seamus pretty much painted this all by themselves. And man, it looks really, really good. So it's a beautiful spot to work now, and keeping it clean, and it's gonna be good. Well, I waited till daylight because it was super cold last night and it was really dark. So I think it was like I don't know, minus 15 or minus 20 Celsius or something last night. So I'm not into that. But at least now I can see. I don't know if you guys can see me or not, but come on, work. can't believe how this thing still fits on the same mounts. Or pretty much. I might have to drill the holes a little bit. Seems like. Man, it's still cold out though. It's still minus 10 or something right now. Like, still cold. Not into it. Well, the bolts are about a ½ inch or so too far apart on my mount, so I'm not really concerned. It's not a huge deal, but I'll bolt the couple of bolts in here that I have on the front, if I can get back to work, and at least it'll still have a seat while I'm pushing it in or moving it around. I'll still be able to sit in it and hold the wheel anyway. Whew, this is great. There we go. Let's see how it feels. Oh, I miss driving this thing. Oh, do I ever miss driving this? I get the same sick feeling that I'm driving, like when I'm sitting in it, as I did when I was driving it a year and a half ago. Oh man. God, I miss it. I missed one full summer of not driving this thing because I was doing the van, which I had a lot of fun with also, but it's not quite the same. All right, so the seat is temporarily bolted in for now. I think what I'll tackle next is probably clean up and paint the harness, and I'll clean up the seat. Hopefully by now I should have the pinion flange, all that stuff, boost controller, wideband, the blow-off valve. That's something else that I have bought off Charles, so he helped me out big time with that. It's like a tile knockoff blow-off valve, which is perfectly fine for what I'm doing. I don't know if it's a 50 millimeter or a 44 millimeter. And then I gotta get a couple of wastegates, and I got a lot of stuff left to do yet. There's a lot of content coming, and I'm gonna focus a lot more on driving the rat rod and taking videos. A lot of street, a lot of Mexico, a lot of stuff coming this year. Okay, so I got the seat put in. That's good. That was a pretty emotional moment. I almost cried, actually, to be absolutely honest. And well, I want to continue on with the seat. So I figure I might as well clean up these harnesses here and clean up this seat cover. It's actually in good shape, but it'd be nice to just get this grimy stuff out that's there. And I was talking to Craig about it, and he was like, why don't you just throw it all in the washer? We've got a washer here at the shop for cleaning rags and stuff like that. So he's like, throw the seat cover in there, throw the harnesses in there, and at least if I go to dye the harnesses, then they'll be clean, and there won't be any old grease and grime and stuff that the paint's not going to stick to, and it's going to look like awful. So I'm going to go do that. And I really don't want to take these off because they're going to be really hard to get back on or remember where they go, so I'm just going to leave that. So let's take this, I guess, and work our way over here. Man, the shop looks good. And Craig's Tesla fits over there like perfect. Ah, there's already my clothes in there. Well, I got all the old rags out. Man, there was some stuff in there. And like, this is all my gloves that I use. Oh man, there's probably 400 bucks worth of gloves there. I waste so much money. All right, anyway, so I guess that's all going in there. And the seat cover will go in with it. I've used the seat cover in the washer before, not this one, but the other seats that I had in the rat rod, and it worked fine. It didn't chew up any of the old foam or anything like that, so I'm not really nervous about that. I just gotta find out what kind of chemicals do I put in here. I don't really care if it sucks the color out of that. That's not a big deal. I can't believe I'm doing this. I've I've never done laundry on my YouTube channel before. And you guys are just as bad for enabling me and being like, yeah, we'll watch you do laundry. That's normal. Normal people do that all the time. All right, laundry day with Barry is underway. We're gonna use a little tiny bit of that. Whatever that is, it says laundry on it, so I assume it goes here. And just to see if I can make a bomb, we'll add in a little bit of this. A little bit more of this. And that goes in there also. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Now Craig says I have to put this on. Hey, it's me! I have to put this on hot. Oh, no. Hot. Yes. And what do we do? Heavy, intense colors. What? I mean, I've done laundry before, but... Success! Alright, so I'm going to go leave that for tonight because that is the loudest washer I've ever heard in my life. It sounds like an airplane taking off. And we'll check back when this is all done, I guess. So the next thing I want to look at before this thing starts winding up is the silicone stuff. It's still a little bit compressible, but I think that's kind of normal. Like, it's hard and it's sealed, so that's good. It's kind of ugly. I'd like to paint the whole top of it, so I might do that really quick. While I'm waiting for Cass to come pick me up. Oh, okay, she's already here. I'm gonna go spray a little bit of paint on this. I think I'll just spray the top of it and see if I can get some of this stuff to be more black. I don't think she knows where the horn button is. It's all gas is like $1.65 a liter. Also, the fan belt is absolutely cooked on the Cadillac. It also does a squeal. Hi. Hello. I can't
leave you there.
Yeah, no, sorry. It's really dark. Rev it up. This is why I married you. It's really dark. Hello. I love your hair. All right. Well, might as well cover that up also, so I don't get it all full of paint. I was gonna wash it, like degrease it or whatever, but half the time when I use chemicals on this, the paint never sticks anyway, so it'll either work or it won't work now. Because I'm done messing with it. You can hear the washer in the background probably. It's wicked loud. Just want to stop paint from getting down into the tank. Won't make any serious big deal or anything, but well, let's try it. I'm gonna turn on the fan. Oh, that's so much better. The best part about the texture on the top is you can't tell that I'm a terrible painter and it's probably got fish eyes in it. Mint.
Okay, so I'll leave that for tonight.
To dry. I'll let the washer do its thing. I'll come back tomorrow and just hang everything up, let it dry overnight, and then, well, after a day or so drying, it should be ready to dye, hopefully. I came up to the shop to grab something, and the washer's done.
So, Leaning Tower of Gloves. So the washer's done, and see how this thing came out. Oh, that's like super clean. Nice. Still a little bit in there to get. That's kind of ground in there, I guess. That's not a big deal. The harnesses look good. Oh, wow, the harnesses look really good. Man, they came out wicked clean. They're still like rough looking. I guess that's probably some rust in there, but man, they came out nice. Let's get these last couple pieces out. Oh yeah, man, I'm impressed. That looks wicked. Wow. Well, I hung the straps up off our new little table there. That'll let those dry throughout the night. And same with the seat cover. Want that to be nice and dry before I bring it out in the garage, because it's cold out there and I don't want any moisture being in there, freezing and risking cracking the material or anything like that. So that's pretty much the plan for that. And the fuel cell came out really nice also. This is dry now, of course, and the paint here is dry. Let's tear some of this off and have a look. I probably could have painted the top of this, but that's not really a big deal. But dude, that looks good. Came a long way really fast. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video here because I've got some more stuff coming up and it's going to take pretty much a full video on that, and I don't want this one to get ridiculously long. Like 2-hour video is a bit much. And as soon as the pinion flange comes in that fits ascending, I'll get at that. Charles will send a boost controller and a blow-off valve next week, so I'll be able to get at that. And then as soon as the rear end is done and rolling, like I said, going under the rat rod, and rat rod is coming up here. So it might be in a couple of weeks' time. Craig's got a Jeep that he's going to bring up here, and we're going to scrap down, so we're going to be a little while like that. But major progress coming majorly fast. There is a backup at the moment on Canada Post. I'm still waiting on my second turbo. It's on the way. It says it should be here by like the 31st. So we'll just keep an eye out on it, and hopefully it doesn't get lost in the mail. That would be less than fun. But gonna go ahead and shut her down and go home for the night. Probably shovel my driveway because it was snowing like non-stop. So thanks for checking out the videos. Thanks for checking out the channel, and thanks for watching. If you want to check out my Patreon, it is patreon.com/stationroadratrods, and the YouTube members link thing is down here. And thanks for watching. Have a great day, everybody.